Hey, welcome to tonight's slow flow. We're going to take it really slow. Just a nice way to check in, bring some awareness to the body. So, if you can, slowly come into a seated position, sitting up nice and tall, having the sit bones rooted down in the ground. And then decide to place your hands somewhere on your legs, whether it's the thighs or the shins. And just take the next few cycles of breath to breathe. How you would breathe naturally. Let's work with your natural rhythm. Taking a full inhale in and exhale, whatever feels natural to you. Notice your next cycle of breath. On this next inhale, maybe notice how you're breathing. Are you breathing in the chest? Are you taking in the belly? And then as you exhale, are you rushing your exhale? Can you slow it down a little bit? See if you can elongate your next inhale. And then gently hold at the top. And slow, mindful exhale. Maybe making it even longer. Full inhale. Pausing briefly at the top. And then let your exhale ground you down. Take a few more cycles of breath without me guiding, but knowing that I am holding space for you. And then as your next inhale happens, gently look up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, draw a line with the nose down to the ground, chin to chest. Give some length to the back of your neck. And then when your next inhale happens, just notice as it starts so you can slowly start looking up. And then pause at the top of your inhale. And then when your exhale naturally happens, that's when you slowly start looking down. And then just do a few more cycles just like this. Slow inhale draws you up. Give yourself that gentle pause at the top. Just a way to acknowledge that you aren't rushing the exhale, that second part of the breath. And then when you come back to your chin into chest, looking down at the bottom of your exhale, stay here for one complete cycle of breath. And then roll your chin along the chest from one shoulder over to the next. And I want you to find a breath that works for you, whether you inhale completely over to one side and exhale completely over to the other, or maybe you find the exhale at that halfway point, and then using the inhale to go from chest to shoulder. So I want you to play around with the two combinations, making it more your practice, more of what feels right for you. And then use your inhale to make a complete circle. So look up as you inhale now, all the way up towards the sky. And then when you start to exhale, that's when you want to be looking down, or when you're looking down, that's when you want to start exhaling. So now you're making complete rotations gently. And then on your next exhale, complete everything, like release all the air out, and then rotate, change the rotation. So you're still looking up on the inhale and down on the exhale. And then complete whatever cycle of breath you're on, and let's meet with chin back into chest. I want you to take a pause here whenever you get here to drop the shoulders down and away from the ears, and maybe bring the chin to chest a little closer. And then when your inhale happens, once again, you'll look up, but this time bring the sternum forward with you, finding a seated cow. And exhale, find your seated cat, chin into chest, round the shoulders. Cow on your inhale. And cat on the exhale. Just a few more times. Listening to your body and less to my cues. And then gently and slowly, after you finish your last cat, come into a seated pose, sitting upright. Great. I want you to reach your arms out to a T. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Place your right hand behind you. Lift your left arm high to the sky. So your right hand is more of a kickstand. You're pressing your fingertips into the ground as you reach up nice and tall with your left fingers. Take your full inhale, and as you exhale, guide your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Stay nice and tall with the spine, but then use your long exhale to guide you over to your right side into a seated rotation. And you'll keep turning, start at the belly and then working up until you find your stopping point. And then if you can, maybe take your gaze a little further to the right. Drop back into your deep cycles of breath. And then coming up a little higher on your right fingertips, lead your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Reach your right arm up high to the sky. And then as you exhale, guide the right hand over to the top left corner or left knee. So now you get a little rotation and flexion. Keep reaching your right fingers out. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then slowly and gently, maybe guide your sternum up towards the sky. One more big breath here. Try not to dump into your left side. And then root down, bring yourself up nice and high. And then I want you to slowly lift your left arm up and rotate back towards center. Full inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And you're here for 3 long, deep cycles of breath, so don't rush anything. One more big breath. And then slowly and carefully begin to walk yourself up. Sit up nice and tall and change the cross of your legs. Great. Reach your arms out to a T. This time set your left hand behind you like a kickstand and reach your right arm up high to the sky. Gently and slowly start coming up onto the left fingertips. Press the left fingertips into the mat as you reach the right fingertips up. And then take your full inhale. And let your exhale guide you over to the left side, gently placing your right hand to the outside of your left knee. You can pause here for a cycle of breath and decide if taking the twist deeper is what you need. And then once you find the spot where you can rotate no more, maybe take your gaze out over your left shoulder. Keep your deep cycles of breath. And then slowly and gently lift your left fingertips up. And then reach your left arm up high to the sky. Take your full inhale. And as you exhale, tip over towards your right knee or the top right corner of your mat. Keep your fingers spread nice and wide and find that sweet spot where you can stop and be in some stillness. And then maybe guide the sternum up just a little bit deeper. Breathe fully. One more big breath. As you exhale everything out, slowly and carefully pause. And then let your next full inhale guide you up. Right arm comes up high to the sky, rotate back towards center, fold forward once again. Keeping your sit bones rooted and grounded, drop back into your deep cycles of breath. One more big breath. And then slowly and carefully begin to walk yourself back up nice and tall. Beautiful. Okay, come across your shins and find your tabletop pose. So hands are spread nice and wide underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And then drop back into your cat-cow in your tabletop pose here. You got gravity working with you a little differently. So dropping the belly, looking up. Maybe tucking under toes. And then exhale, chin to chest. Pressing the hands into the mat, taps of the feet into the mat. And then flow here. Inhale, finding your cow. Exhale, finding your cat. And then if you want to make any other movements, maybe C shapes with the spine, or maybe even some pelvic circles, you can, just to get movement going. And then finish up wherever you're at and meet in your version of a child pose. I want you to stay here because if I don't cue this for the rest of our flow together, feel comfortable to drop in anytime. One more breath here in your child's pose. Find tabletop on your inhale. And then downward dog on the exhale. Don't rush it. And it's the first downward dog, so please find some movement here. Whether your bicycle, your legs, maybe you come up onto the balls of the feet and bend the knees. And then collectively, let's find some stillness for the next 3 cycles of breath. Be mindful that you're pressing your hands into the mat and reaching the bum up towards the sky. One more big breath here. Flat, fine plank as you inhale. Let's stay here for a few deep cycles of breath. Pressing your arms into the mat, pressing your toes into the mat, pushing out through the heels, dropping the knees whenever you need. Fill up your lungs as you inhale. And then drop the knees, the chin, the chest as you exhale. Use your hands to press yourself up into your baby cobra. Take it easy. It's early in the practice. And you'll stay in this baby cobra for one more deep cycle of breath. And then press back into downward dog as you exhale. Reach your left leg high to the sky. Push out through the left toes and the left heel. Try to keep some balance on the left and the right hand. And then bend your left knee, stacking the left hip on top of the right, spreading the toes, making circles, maybe with your ankle or your knee. And then find your three-legged dog once again. And then slowly bring the left foot through to the hands, finding a lunge. Okay. So here the palms may be touching the earth. Push out through the right heel, crown of the head reaches forward. And then I want you to slowly come up onto fingertips here without crunching the shoulders together. Find some grounding in your feet. And then as you inhale, bring the left knee forward, curl the back, bring the nose up towards the sky, coming into your cow. And then exhale, find your cat back as you straighten your front leg. Cow back, low or lunge as you inhale. Cat back, straight leg as you exhale. 3 more times. Inhale. And cat back, straight leg, exhale. 2 more times, listening to your body and not my cues. And then meet in your high runner's lunge. Drop your right knee coming into your low lunge. Keep the right toes tucked or untucked, your choice. And then I want you to slowly bring the hands onto the hips. And then reach your arms up high to the sky. Press into your left foot so you're coming up tall. And then bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, slide the fist down and look on up. Gentle back bend here. Let your inhale guide your arms up high. Let your exhale frame your left foot, tuck under your right toes. Have your left foot meet your right foot, plank pose. Drop your knees, your chin, your chest. Then slowly come up to your cobra. And then meet in your downward dog. Three more breaths. Last breath. And then slowly and carefully guide your right leg high. Bend your right knee, stacking right hip on top of left, spreading your right toes, and then making a choice if you need to make some circles or not. three-legged downward dog. And then step your right foot through to your hands, finding your runner's lunge. And then slowly and carefully come up onto fingertips. And you'll do the same thing here 5 times. Coming into your lunge with your cow back. And then cat back as you straighten your leg. And I'm going to let you go for the next 4 on your own. And then meeting in your runner's lunge. Drop your back knee, low lunge. And then carefully bring your hands onto your hips, coming up nice and tall, pressing the right foot into the mat, and then reaching your hands high to the sky. And then bring your arms behind you. This time change the cross of your thumbs and slowly and carefully look up. One more breath here. And then reach your arms up high to the sky. Frame your right foot, tuck under left toes, have your right foot meet your left foot, plank pose. Drop your knees, your chin, your chest, come up into a cobra. And then push back into your downward dog. Two more big breaths here. Last breath. And then reach your left leg high. This time, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. So now you're in a lizard pose. Keep your right knee hovering above the mat and really focus on pressing out through the right heel as you root down through the left foot. And then you can stay here or you can come down onto forearms, deepening this pose. Drop back into your deep cycles of breath. And then if you're on forearms, slowly come back onto palms. And then spin your right heel down. And then slowly straighten your left leg. Palms can be onto the mat, or you can come up onto fingertips. You're in this like wide gate pyramid pose. So while you're here, really try to bring the left hip bone back, or the head of the femur, into the acetabulum of the pelvis, if we want to get technical. Root down through both sets of feet. Don't let the right foot get, or even the right leg get weak. Make it active by pushing into your mat. keeping the shoulders dropping down and away from the ears. One more breath here. And then you'll walk your hands towards the right side of your mat and turn your toes out to the right side. So now you are folded wide. Making the adjustments that you need so you can settle into stillness here. One more big breath. Take your full inhale. And then walk your hands over to your right foot as you exhale. So you're facing the back of your mat. Turn your right toes towards the top of your mat. Keep the bend strong in the right knee and then rotate your left heel up. So now you're in your lizard pose facing the back of your mat. Root down through your right foot as you push out through your left heel. And then it's your choice if you want to come down onto forearms or stay up on the hands. Stay strong. If you're on forearms, come up onto palms. And then spin your left heel back down as you straighten your right leg, coming into this version of a pyramid pose. Once again, pushing all the way down through the left foot and reaching the femur back into the acetabulum or the hip bone into the pelvis. Try to keep some straightness in the spine. There will be some natural rounding, but don't let yourself collapse. One more big breath here. Take your full inhale. And then slowly turn now to your left side, coming back into your wide fold. Last time you took some stillness, and that's great. So if you want to stay in stillness, you can. But if you want, you can bring the hands slightly forward. Reach one arm up high to the sky. And then exhale, switch sides. So you have some choices. And then we'll meet back in the wide fold. Take a full inhale. And let your exhale guide your hands back towards your left foot, rotating your left toes to face the top of the mat. And then step your left foot back to meet your right plank pose. Drop the knees, the chin, the chest. Come up into cobra. And then downward dog. Two more big breaths. And then reach your left leg high. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Spin your right foot totally down. This time, keep your left hand to the inside of the left foot as you reach the right arm up high. Coming into your version of an extended side angle. If you want, you can take the bind by reaching the right arm back and the left arm under the leg and then into the low back. And then if you took the bind, release the bind. Use your inhale to root down and rise up into a warrior two. Settle in the exhale. And then straighten your left leg, finding your triangle pose. You'll step the right foot in, reach the right hip back, left hand forward, and then drop the left hand down. Let it just fall naturally. And then you decide if you want to take your triangle deeper or higher. Knowing there's no right or wrong, just you listening to your body. Guide the sternum forward and up. It's a gentle reminder not to jump into this. Keep your right finger spread nice and wide. And then as you exhale, guide your right hand down and then walk yourself back wide onto the mat. This time I want you to slowly and gently walk your hands over towards your right foot and bend into the right knee, straightening your left leg. One more breath. And then slowly set your left foot down as you rotate your right toes to the back of your mat. Right hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Set yourself up like you did at the front of your mat. Reach your left arm up high for this version of your extended side angle. And then if you want to, you can always take the bind or skip it. But whatever you choose, keep the heart and the sternum open. Press down through both feet. And then slowly release your bind. Use your inhale to draw yourself up. Settle into your exhale. And then carefully set yourself up for your triangle pose by walking the left foot in, straightening your right leg, send your left hip back as you reach your right arm forward and down. Once again, let the right hand come to the leg, and then you slowly guide it. Don't force your right hand to be somewhere where it doesn't want to be. It's like you're working with your body. And then once you find that spot that's working for you, that's when I would like for you to just slowly guide your sternum forward. Unless you have blood pressure issues, then keep your gaze at your right toe. One more breath. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down, slowly walk yourself wide, turning the toes. And then walk your hands over towards your left foot, bend into your left knee as you straighten your right leg best as can be. One more breath. And then take your full inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly guide your hands forward. Step your left foot back to meet your right, plank pose. And then drop your knees, your chin, your chest. Come on up, little cobra. And then pushing back into your downward dog. Take your full inhale. And exhale. Reach your left leg high. And then this time, bring your left knee through to your hand. Set yourself up for your pigeon. So you can tuck under the right toes and walk the right knee back to give yourself length. You can guide the left shin to the top of the mat. Hands stay underneath the shoulders. Come up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, slowly start folding forward. Coming into your sleeping pigeon. And stay here and be with your breath. Knowing that I'm holding the space for you, but giving you this time to be and listen to your body. Three more cycles of breath. Let your inhale guide you back up. Hold at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, return back into your downward dog. Maybe find a three-legged downward dog. And then meeting in downward dog. And then reach your right leg high. Right knee through to the hands, finding your pigeon. Once again, know that the pigeon on this side may be different from the other side. So, make adjustments. Bring the knee closer or away. Bring the shin as parallel to the top of the mat as you need, or keep the heel close to the hip. Okay, let's keep the palms underneath the shoulders. Press the hands into the mat so you can come up nice and tall. And then take a full inhale, fill the lungs. Let your exhale guide you down into a sleeping pigeon. Knowing that I'm holding the space, so stay with your breath. 3 more deep cycles of breath. And then with palms underneath shoulders, press yourself up gently. Take your full inhale. Let your exhale guide you back into a 3-legged downward dog. And then downward dog. And then walk your feet to the back of your hands and then slightly to the outside. And then walk your palms forward gently. And then come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Walk the feet into hips distance. This time come up halfway. Fold forward. And then with your feet rooted down, reach your arms up high to the sky. And then down to the side. For your first and only mountain pose. So root your feet down, reach the crown of the head up high. Hands come down to the side, fingers spread nice and wide. Full inhale. And exhale. Then reach your arms up high. Slowly fold forward. Bend the knees so deeply that the bum wants to come to the mat. And you meet hugging knees into the chest, sitting up nice and tall. Feet root down, crown of the head grows high. Sternum reaches forward. Take your full inhale. And as you exhale, tuck the chin and chest and lower down, one vertebra at a time. Arms come down to the side. Take your feet about hips distance apart. Root your feet down. Make any adjustments that you need in the upper and the lower back so you feel connected. Root your feet down, and then as you inhale, lift the hips for a bridge. Press your feet into the mat. Try to keep your glutes relaxed. And then personally, I like to see how high I can press my belly. So I like to make my belly nice and big. And then exhale, I just let it fall. So if you want to try that as a reminder to take deep breaths, I want you to do that. One more big breath. And then take your full inhale, root down through your feet. Exhale, lower down slowly. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Arms can come out to a T. Take your full inhale, and this time on the exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the right side. Stay here. Feel what's connected to the earth. If you want to add a twist, a deeper twist, you can always look out over your left shoulder. And then inhale will guide you back into center with the knees and maybe with the nose. And then the exhale will guide you over to the left side. Once the legs have landed and connected, that's when I want you to decide if you want to rotate and look out over your right shoulders or right shoulder. That way you don't rush anything and you listen to your body as you go. And then come back into stillness, full inhale. Knees are high, nose is looking up. And then hug the knees into your chest. Give them a gentle squeeze, rocking from side to side. If you want, you can find a happy baby for your inversion. Or you can bring legs up against the wall. Or you can take any other inversion that works for you. Play around a little bit, but then I'll cue you into some stillness. And then find some stillness. And then take one more big breath in your inversion. Bring the knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. And then extend one leg long, followed by the other. Give yourself a full body stretch. And then come into your Shavasana pose. Drop back into your deep cycles of breath. Be in stillness, knowing that I'm holding the space for you, even though it's quiet. Slowly take a full inhale. And ease the exhale. One more time, full inhale. Exhale. Gently make some small movements with the fingers and the toes. And then with the wrist and the ankles. And then maybe make some movements from side to side. Or you bring the knees back into the chest. Where you give yourself a full body stretch. And then you roll over onto your right side, coming into a fetal position. Taking one more cycle of breath here. Use your left palm to push yourself up, coming into a seated pose. Dropping back to where you started. Back in easy pose, have your hands connect back to your legs. Reach your arms up high to the sky. Bring your palms together in prayer and down into heart center. Reach up and together in heart center. And then reach your arms up high. Bring your palms together and bring your prayer hands to your third eye as a reminder to have loving thoughts. And then to your lips as a reminder to have loving words. And then to your heart with a soft bow as a reminder to have loving actions towards yourself and towards others. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in you. Namaste.